Is the green light on? Is the green light on?
Yes.
Good. No. No. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Shabbat Shalom. Before we get started, please remember to turn off your cell phones. My name is Jo Ellen Bromberg, and I serve on the board as your fundraising co-chair. Tonight's service will be led by Rabbi Carla Friedman. Marlene Spiegel will be lighting the Shabbat candles.
That's it? That's all you have to say?
That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say now.
Really? You don't
I'm sorry. There's 8 and 9.
Oh, yeah.
Are there any new members here this evening? Yes?
Well, wait a minute. New members first. Do not talk to that man. Do not talk to.
What?
Don't humor him. Just
What
ignore
man?
him. What man? Exactly.
Okay. Do we have any guests visiting this evening? Any guests with our members?
So who are all these people?
Well, we welcome you all here tonight, and we hope that you enjoy the service and visit us often.
Well, they can't visit us at all because they're not guests.
Oh, yes.
I know, right? Don't you think?
You know what? I was not feeling well during the day. So there's my excuse for all these phone calls.
No. That's what it says. I know that it says that, but it's just bizarre.
Yes.
You don't tell our members to visit us often,
No,
right?
they need to.
Bazaar is done. We've done the bazaar. Got that. Okay. This is a rough room tonight, I
Yeah.
can tell.
Marlene Spiegel.
Marlene Spiegel left town. No, yes. In a minute.
Okay.
In a minute. Thank you. Before we do the meditation, I want to take a minute to do something serious. I attended a webinar earlier this week about the situation in Israel, and I hope to be able to share more of that with you next Friday evening. But one thing that the presenter said right at the beginning has stuck with me very clearly since, and I feel strongly that I need to share it with you and ask your help with this. The presenter was former Ambassador Dennis Ross, who served in the administration of George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. And he was their ambassador to the Middle East. And he was involved in many levels of peace negotiations over the years of his activity. He was in Israel about 10 days ago, I think. He was there for a week. He was also in some Arab countries. And he has always very interesting things to say. But the thing he spoke about at the beginning that has been with me ever since is this, that none of us here can possibly understand how Israelis feel right now. None of us can possibly understand it. And why is that? Because Israel is a tiny country, and everybody in Israel knows somebody who was a hostage, or is a hostage, or is related to somebody who was a hostage or is a hostage. Everybody in Israel is related to or knows somebody who is actively serving in the Israeli military right now. Everybody in Israel knows a family that has lost a member in the war amongst the soldiers and the other military. Everybody in Israel is involved in this in a way that we can't begin to imagine. And he said that he understands that American Jews are not in the same mind frame as the Israelis are, but he said that we need to be assertively connected to our family in Israel. And we need to feel that they are family. And so I'm going to ask you to do a better job of what we have been doing now for 3 months, and that is wearing those blue ribbons. We've had our supply refurbished, thanks to congregants. And if you don't have one tonight, but you have one at home, that's okay. But don't go out without it anymore. Don't go out without it. Wear it over your heart and think about those people. There are still hostages 3 months later. Where are they? In tunnels under the Gaza Strip? Do the people who needed medical attention, did they get it? Are they getting it? We don't know the answers to these questions. The Red Cross has not been aggressive enough in trying to provide some service to them. So we have to be conscious constantly of our connection to those people. And even if nobody ever asks you why you're wearing the blue ribbon, and I will tell you, 3 months later, nobody has ever asked me. I wear it all over the place. Nobody asks. But even if nobody asks you, you're wearing it for you to know that you are connected, just like all those people in Israel feel connected to the hostages and the families and the soldiers and so forth. So that's what I'm asking you to do. Please make sure you wear the blue ribbon. Okay? Thank you. Well, now we're going to set that aside and take an opportunity to let the week go and refurbish our energy for the coming week. So I'm going to ask you to put your back against the chair, put your feet on the floor, and close your eyes. And just sit there. Let your shoulders drop. You don't need to keep your shoulders up stiff. And I want you to take in a deep breath and just gently let it go. And do that again. Take in a deep breath and just gently let it go. And while you're breathing, I want you to think about the fact that we have the opportunity every week for a day of holiness. Holiness doesn't occur on the Jewish calendar only with festivals and special occasions. It occurs every week, an opportunity to remind us about who we are and what we're here for. Shabbat is a portal to holiness. If you give a little bit of yourself to it tonight, it will give a little bit back to you during the week. And the more of it you give to yourself tonight, the more of it you will get back during the week. Holiness is not about separating yourself from the community, going somewhere to meditate and to contemplate. That's not holiness in the Jewish tradition. Holiness in Judaism is interacting with people and serving people. And holiness is accessible to all of us. And Shabbat is our avenue in. So I encourage you, as you breathe now, as you take in a deep, deep, deep breath. Take in a deep breath, and as you're doing that and then letting it go, think about taking in holiness and inviting it to serve you during the week as you engage with other people. Do that again, one more deep breath, and let it go. And then open your eyes. We're going to begin with some music. It's on page 128, I believe, in the prayer book. Yedid Nefesh, heart's delight, source of mercy, draw your servant into your arms. I leap like a deer to stand in awe before you. Yedid Nefesh. That's for the Ozzy Schwartz fan club who would enjoy hearing him sing the phone book. And it's time for us to light the Shabbat candles. Marlene, come on up. You know about the yeah. Oh yeah, she's an old pro at this. Oh yeah, no, that's too bad because clearly I'm not. There it is. Oops. So that's there. Oh, now you're going to need to stand over here so you can read this. The text is on the screen, and Marlene will read it.
Source of all goodness, as we join in Shabbat's worship, we ask your blessings. Grant us health enough to perform our daily tasks, wealth enough to answer our needs, compassion enough to feel the needs of others. Give us strength enough to recognize our faults, wisdom enough to understand your laws, loyalty enough to discharge our duties. Give us courage enough to be true to the best within us, charity enough to see the best in others. Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to feel your presence. Amen.
Amen. Okay, fine. So what we have learned, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I put this right in between.
Mm-hmm. Just leave it there. Yeah, leave it there. There you go. Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. See what happens when a pro does it? Did you want to take this with you?
Yes, of course,
Absolutely. And we're going to continue with Kiddush, which is on page 123. If you are participating in the service via the wonders of technology and you have a glass of wine to raise, we invite you to do that. And I invite everybody here to please rise, page 123, or on the screen, of course. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim. And we're going to continue now with the Psalm for the Sabbath day, which is Psalm 92, and it's in the prayer book on page 140, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, the Psalm for the Sabbath day, with the music and cantor Julia Cadrain.
Ya la 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 On page 22 of your prayer book. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat Tov lehodot l'Adonai Tov lehodot l'Adonai Uzamer l'Shimcha Elyon להגיד בבוקר
we continue on page 144 with Chatzi Kaddish, which tells us that we have concluded the introductory section of the service. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'amad yivarach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chai echon uvyom echon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'meru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lam me'almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shmei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imeru. We're going to continue on page 146, and of course the text is on the screen. This is the formal opening of the service. Please rise for the call to worship. Lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Baruch hu et Adonai hamivorach. Baruch Adonai hamivorach leolam vaed. Lai 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 lai. And we're going to continue with a reading which is on the screen. This is a responsive reading, so let's do it that way. How wonderful, O God, are the works of your hands. The heavens declare your glory. The arch of the sky displays your handiwork. The roaring breakers of the sea tell of your awesome might. The beasts of the field and the birds of the air bespeak your wondrous will.
In your goodness you have made us able to hear the music of the world, the raging of the winds, the whispering of trees in the woods, and the precious voices of loved ones revealed to us and to our countenance.
A divine voice sings through all creation. And we're going to continue with Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam, Bet Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mishvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta.
That's a good one. Actually, on one level, I think it's actually better than the Platt Brothers, because we're getting more of the different parts in this version than we do with the Platt Brothers, but they are the original, that's for sure. I see that we are being encouraged to move on in the service, so I invite you to rise and join the Katzes who want to move on to the Shema, which is on page 152, and it's on the screen. Take a moment to focus for just a second. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvish'arecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem emet. And we're going to continue with a reading which is on the screen, and it is not in the prayer book. Let's read it together. Think freely, practice patience, smile often, savor special moments, live God's message, make new friends, rediscover old ones, tell those you love that you do, feel deeply, forget trouble, forgive an enemy, hope, grow, be crazy, count your blessings, observe miracles, make them happen, discard worry, give in, trust enough to take, pick some flowers, share them, keep a promise, look for rainbows, gaze at stars, see beauty everywhere. And the reason I choose that particular reading for this particular moment in the service is that we come now to Michamocha, and it says here something about miracles, doesn't it? Observe miracles. Well, the miracle of the parting of the sea was not easy to miss. But there are miracles around us all the time, and we have to work harder at being aware of them. So that's why I choose to read this now. And we're going to continue with Michamocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילו, עושה פלא. מי כמוך, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילו, עושה פלא. Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? When Moses and the children crossed the sea, they sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילו, עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, ויעלום יד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Please.
We continue with the reading that is on the screen, and it's on page 161 in the prayer book. Let's read together. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, v'tzaknenu be'etza tova milfanecha, v'hoshienu v'man shemecha.
Take it from the top. Hashkivenu Adonai.
עמידנו שומרנו לחיים לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותגננו בעצה טובה מלפניך והושיענו למען שמך. אמן.
We are going to continue with a reading that is on the screen. This is a responsive reading. I'll start. 6 days a week, we humans use time. We value it as a means to an end. Time well spent for us is time that helps us acquire something. Yet to have more does not mean to be more. Indeed, there is a realm of time where the goal is not to have, but to be, not to own, but to give, not to control, but to share, not to subdue, but to be in accord. Life goes wrong when the control of space, the acquisition of things, becomes our sole concern. The seventh day rights our balance and restores our perspective. It is like a palace in time with a kingdom for all. It is not a date, but an atmosphere. On the seventh day, yes, it's your turn. Okay, stop. All right, stop now. Let's start again. On the seventh day, 6 days we live under the tyranny of things of space. On the seventh day, we try to become attuned to holiness in time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. And we're going to continue with Vishamru.
So on the sixth day of Econ May, the heavens, the heavens, the heavens, and all of the earth, and all that was within them. And on the seventh day, God rested. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לאור יום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לאור כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ יום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש and on the seventh day on the seventh day God rested on the seventh day God rested God rested
Did you like that? Yes. That is Cantor Mo Glasman singing at Temple Emmanuel in New York. That is the St. Patrick's Cathedral of the Reform Movement. And, sorry? Yes, thank you. So Cantor Glasman composed that. And there it is on the bima of Temple Emmanuel in New York City. Really hard to believe. But, what? Impossible to believe. And there it was. We are going to continue now with the Amidah, which is a little bit more tame. We will begin on page 164. Please rise for the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah, Rav Lohoshia, Mashiva ruach u'morida gashem, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, mi ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, melech memit u'mechayeh, u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ugdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. And we're going to continue on page 173. Let's read together. The text is also on the screen, of course. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. And we are going to continue on page 175. Let's read together. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadcha be'ira na'avod. On page 176, we're going to read together. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai our God and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lohodot. And on page 179 at the top, we read together. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael bashalom. And on the screen is the translation of the traditional silent prayer. And of course, you are free to devise your own. There are alternative readings on page 181 if you are so inclined.
Shalom, shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom. Oh, say shalom, shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom. Shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבי תבל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבי תבל. יעשה שלום במרומיו.
Yes, that is Cantor Magda Fishman. And Cantor Fishman, that was in California, but Cantor Fishman has been in Boca Raton for a number of years, I think. Yeah. And she's terrific, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Think we can get her up here?
I think she's got a gig, John. So at this point in the service, we have been. Oh, look, there's two of me. That would have me beside myself, right? One is enough. At this point in the service, we take time to think about the people I was talking to you about before, the hostages, the ones who have been freed, and my goodness, think about the therapy that those people, and particularly those children, are going to need. And think about the families that are bereft, families of hostages, families of soldiers, etc. Think about the young men and women who serve in the Israel Defense Force, Tzahal, Tzva Haganah Yisrael, and think about how they feel every time they are summoned, knowing what they have to do. And think about the people of Israel who are struggling to understand what exactly is going on in the world, that their situation is not understood and respected. So for all of them, we have prayers, we have things that we're asking for. And so I ask you to think about that for a moment and join me. Lu Yehi, Ana Lu Yehi, Kol Shenivakesh, Lu Yehi, Lu Yehi, Lu Yehi, Ana Lu Yehi, Kol Shenivakesh, Lu Yehi. All that we ask for, let it be. And now we're going to go on to the Mishaberach for our congregants and for people on your personal lists. We'll begin with the list of congregants, and then I'll give you an opportunity to offer prayers privately. This Shabbat we are offering prayers for Beverly Adler, Robert Berg, Shirley Bergman, Elaine Bialer, Barry Brown, Andrea Chasen, Marianne Fink, Batsheva Sarah Gamaran, Richard Hoffing, Liz Jacobs, Marcia Katz, Verdna Kelly, Carolyn Corlin, Wilma Levine, Marvin Lutzker, Marlis Markovitz, Paula Newberger, Ron Newberger, Leslie Rapkin, Fanny Reese, Cliff Reese, Betty Sarlin, Jacqueline Schindler, Mark Schoenholtz, Maxine Schoenholtz, Barry Schwartz, Joe Sheff, Jeff Sturm, Norman Toff, Dawn Zion, Stanley Zarofsky, Leslie Zwain, Amit Ben Shirley, Ariel Bat Rivka, Ariella Bat Shoshana, Chana Pesa Bat Golda, Hanan Rachmel Ben Leah, Chava Bat Esther Malka, Chaya Esther Bat Chana, Devorah Bat Ruth, Devorah Bat Sarah, Esther Badana Bat Shena Malka, Henya Rachel Bat Sarah, Vega Devoshe bat Bracha, Heshleb ben Devora, Yosef Shmuel ben Bertha, Leib Shalom ben Fegel, Manya bat Fredel, Masha bat Esther, Masha Sarah bat Chana, Menachem ben Frima, Mindela bat Frima, Miriam bat Thelma, Mordechai ben Sarah, Moshe Hersh ben Rachel, Pesach Lev ben Sarah, Sarah Mindel bat Chanalea, Bracha bat Shirley, Shalom ben Pesel, Shaul Yochanan ben Sarah, Shena Bracha bat Yudit, Shena Leah bat Devora, Shirley bat Sarah, Shulamit bat Zilla, Tzirul Reza bat Esther, Velvel ben Hindabela, and Yonatan ben Chasya. Now I'd like to ask you to take this opportunity to offer prayers privately for the people on your own personal list. And as you do that, please articulate the names silently. While we're at it, let's offer prayers for people in this country and anywhere in the world who are dealing with the aftermath of violence, especially gun violence. And let's offer prayers for people anywhere in the world who are experiencing the current round of the COVID virus, which is with us again. And let's offer prayers for their caregivers as well. Let's offer prayers for our country, for the little state of Israel, and for our planet. And let's go to the music for the Mishaberach. Can I ask you to stop the music? Thank you. I want to point out to you that there are some familiar faces in this group. That one right there. And where's that? There's another one right there. Do you know who those people are? Rachel and Yuri, yes. The Rosengolds, yes. And this is from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, yes? Yes, it is, and it's old. This is an old recording, right? Older. No, but it's not any time in the recent past.
It was a couple years ago.
I don't know. Is that Wendy Jennings beside you?
Wendy's in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Wendy's back there.
Yeah. Anyway, now let's have the music.
Rivka, Rachel,
Did you enjoy that? It's amazing what you can find out there. Well, we're going to do something entirely different, or as they say on Monty Python, and now for something completely different, right? Yes. And that would be the installation of the officers of the congregation, or the board of directors, which was elected at the annual meeting within living memory just a few weeks ago. And so I'm going to ask all of those who are on the board, who are present tonight, to please come forward. Yes, on the bima. Yes, on the bima. Yes, yes, on the bima. You could spread out a little. You don't have to cluster so much. No, we're not taking a picture. Rochelle, come on the other side. Just a little balance here.
And we're not going to sing like they just did.
No, we are not singing. So the first thing I want to tell you is you are not required to sing on the bima. The members of this congregation have selected new people to lead us through the year ahead. We are gathered here to reflect upon the importance of leadership and to affirm our basic commitment to tefillah, prayer, Torah, study, and ma'asim tovim, good deeds. Thus says Adonai, this is a quotation from Jeremiah. Thus says Adonai, let not the wise glory in their wisdom, let not the mighty glory in their might, let not the rich glory in their riches, but let anyone who would glory in this, that they strive to understand and revere me, Adonai, who practices kindness, justice, and righteousness on earth. For in these things I delight. So I want to remind each and every one of you that you have undertaken a sacred obligation in being willing to serve the congregation. The proper name for a synagogue in Hebrew is Kehilah Kedoshah, a sacred congregation. And your part in that is to guide it and serve it as it moves forward in fulfillment of the goals and objectives that are expressed in our, statement of purpose that is the preface to our bylaws, etc. And so I want to ask you to take a moment now while you're standing on the bima to reflect on the opportunity you have and on the obligation you have to fulfill these duties as agents of the congregation, because that's what you're expected to do. And all of your decisions and all of your inquiries and all of your deliberations need to be undertaken with that in mind. So I want to ask everybody else to please rise. And we're going to offer the blessing that we have in our tradition when we arrive at a moment of some significance. It's called, guess what? The Shehechianu. So say it with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. And I invite you all to take your seats again with a renewed commitment and zeal for the cause at hand. You are dismissed. Yes, you will be asked to come back afterwards. People who are on the bima, we want to get a group photo, but a class picture, yes, not in the middle of the service. And now, for yet another thing that is completely different, we're going to take a few minutes to play Ask the Rabbi. We're going to do this a little differently than we have been doing. You cannot ask questions from where you are seated. You must come up here and speak into the microphone.
This way.
That,
How are they going to come?
well, we'll do it this way. I think this will work. Sandy, speak into the microphone. It's on. It's on. I see it.
Testing.
Well, it is on.
Hello.
The light is on and the power. Oh, see, that turned it off. Now, try again.
Did you turn it on?
Have you turned on the microphone in there? Now it is. Oh, now it is. Well, speak a little louder into the microphone.
Hello.
Oh, there you go. So the trick is you have to speak directly into the microphone. You can't hold it, so it won't be, yes, thank you. So, okay, never mind. All right, is there anybody who has a question? Of course, Sharon Privet. No, Sharon has her hand up. Go ahead, Sharon. We'll get to you, Stephen. Sharon has been asking questions for years now. Yeah, there's a good, yes, you can step right up to the microphone, right up to the microphone. Okay, what's your question?
I'm curious.
No, nobody can hear you. Speak a little louder.
I'm curious. Can you hear me?
No.
I'm curious.
The microphone is on, so you have to get right, there you go.
I'm curious
I heard it, yeah, go ahead.
about the people in Israel. How are they having services now, and what are they praying? You know, what are they praying? Is their service like ours?
Yes, okay, thank you. That's a good question. People in Israel are indeed having services at their synagogues, and they are noticing, as we are here, that there are empty seats. We have 2 seats that have been draped with talitot since October 7th to signify the people who are missing. And the synagogues in Israel have seats set aside for their military people who've been called up, especially the reserves, the folks on Miluim, who have to serve every year. And so their services are very much in tune with what we're doing. I think that they are much less celebratory than we are. We've had some wonderful, lively music. I don't think they're doing that exactly. But they are certainly, those who are accustomed to going to services are doing that. And you know that the majority of Israelis are actually secular and don't go to services. And there is some suggestion that sometimes they show up as well, because you do what you can to get comfort in times like this. Yes. So thank you, Sharon. That's an interesting question. Stephen, come in and talk into the microphone.
My question is about the afterlife, if there is one. What is your personal thoughts on that?
My personal thoughts. That is a loaded question. So I will tell you that Jewish tradition has many different answers to that question. There is a book called What Happens After I Die, and it has 6 or 7 chapters. Each chapter is a different answer to the question, and each one of those answers has at one time or another been an answer that has been used by Jews, and they continue to be. So the ultra-Orthodox will tell you that there isn't a life after death, and that we have to do everything we can to be rewarded with a good life after death. I think that many Reform Jews don't believe in life after death and don't worry too much about it. Jewish tradition has always focused on this life, and the reward for a good life lived here is the good life lived here. And that life is characterized not by acquisition, but by the kind of life you live, whether you are a good person and you have done things in this world to make it better, that kind of thing. And that's my personal answer too, that the Torah doesn't say anything about life after death. Not a word. And the rabbis struggled with that. I think many people find that very uncomfortable. They don't want to believe that there is no reconnection with loved ones in the great beyond or something of that sort. But Judaism does not paint any pictures of that. Even the traditionalists can't tell you what it looks like. They just believe that it's there. So that's my answer. I'm amongst the skeptics. And I am spending my time, to the best of my ability, to make my life here matter. I think that's what I can do. Yeah.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you. John?
I have friends.
Well, just
shortly.
yeah.
I have friends in Israel, as I'm sure many people here do, and talking to them on the phone, it's not an...
Into the microphone, John.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes. Talking to them on the phone.
Talking to them on the phone, it's not unusual to all of a sudden hear sirens in the distance, and then they say to me, "We got to go into our shelter, and we'll talk to you another day."
Yep.
And so that's it. Click. They're gone.
Yep.
Now that said, on a Friday night or Saturday morning, or when Shabbat is taking place and there's services and people go to services, do the synagogues in Israel also have their own shelters as part of the synagogue and everything? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
Yes, many of them do. But the other thing is that services in Israel on Friday evening, even in the Reform community, the services in Israel take place before dinner so that everybody can go and have Shabbat dinner with family. That's always been true. So the services are early. They're not at 7:30, they're at 5:30. And then you go home and have Shabbat dinner with your family. So people are coming to services for the kind of things that we come for, which is comfort, being together with our people. But there are shelters attached to many synagogues and other buildings as well. If there weren't, nobody would come out. But I also think that it depends on where you are in Israel. Certainly, right now, the north is a problematic area, but for a while it was quiet in the north, and people in the south were leaving communities and so forth. And there are something like 150,000 people in Israel who can't go to their own homes right now because of the displacement in the north and the south. So these are people who are living with family and friends, and they could be in cities in central Israel where there really is no active threat. Sometimes you hear a rocket or something, but mostly there's nothing happening in the middle. And other than that, they may be, in places where they do hear it more, and they do run to the shelters as quickly as they can. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Stephen, look what your friend did to you.
I lowered it back down.
Watch it. You want to see this?
I'll do the best I can.
Not bad. Not bad.
My mind wanders back to Isaac and Ishmael.
Oh, yes.
Sound familiar?
Yeah.
So the Arabs, do they pray to the same God that we pray to?
First of all, I think we cannot talk about Arabs and religion, because Arab is actually more of a race and not a religion. There are Christian Arabs and Muslim Arabs, so we have to make that distinction. I think you're asking about Muslims.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their God is called, or their name for God is Allah, which is not all that different from Elohim. It's actually related. It's a cognate noun. And our tradition says that we're all praying to the same God, and it doesn't matter what God's name is. And in just a couple of moments, we're going to say the Aleinu prayer, and it says that we pray for the day when God's name will be one, Ushemo Echad, one name. But what we what Judaism says is that at the moment, our God is God and has different names amongst different peoples.
Well, I have a question for you, but I doubt
That wasn't the question? That was,
but I doubt seriously if you can answer it, but I want to ask you the question anyway. And so, in Israel, the Jews are praying, and they're praying that the hostages will come back, that the soldiers will be successful.
And safe.
And safe. And in Gaza, they're praying that they're killing Jews and God will bless them. So my question, how does Adonai handle all this? And I'm asking you for an answer.
Well, I'm off duty now. I'm relieved of the responsibility. There's nothing I can. I think we
do you
need
understand what I'm trying to draw a comparison.
Well, you know, Stephen, I liken this to what happens at football games in this country on Friday nights. So that team over there, they go into a huddle and they pray, right, to win the game. And that team over there, they go into a huddle and they pray to win the game, right?
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's the same thing. The Israelis are praying for success in the military matters, and Hamas is praying for success in military matters. I think
but the same higher up is listening to both.
Yes, and
how do you handle something like that?
Well, all I can tell you is that our tradition says that there are certain values that we respect, and in doing so, we believe that we are mimicking what God does. Okay, so we have the obligation to represent those values here on earth. And if you want to find out what those values are really clearly, you can read chapter 19 in the book of Leviticus, where it's very clearly spelt out.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's very clear, and it's not about offering sacrifices and all of that. It's about how you relate to other people. And I think the lesson for the Israelis and the Palestinians, whether it's Hamas or just the ordinary Palestinians, the lesson is that they have to be able to live together. That has to come. And that's what I think.
One would think that's the final answer.
I think that's what divinity is working towards. And
thank you, Rabbi.
Yeah. I'm never going to let him stand up and ask a question again.
Comment you're always saying about do everything.
Pray as if everything depends upon God. Act as if everything depends upon you. But the critical thing is to understand what our values are and to act upon those. Okay, I think we're going to go to the Aleinu, page 586, and on the screen. Somewhere on the screen. On that screen, yeah. And that one. And there it is. Na'aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become in one in front. I have it. And one. Keep going. Published on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad ushemo echad. I want to translate what it says. V'ne'emar, and it said, V'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, and it will be that Adonai will rule over all the earth. Bayom hahu, on that day, Yeh Adonai echad, Adonai will be one, ushemo echad, and God's name will be one. The one time I don't take the book with me, you know. They're testing me. Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This Shabbat, the congregation is remembering Charles Danneman, grandfather of Ricky Bauman, Jacob Baer, father of Stephen Baer, Emmett Newman, father of Sandy Brady, Sharnya Fisher, sister of Cyril Kolb, Joseph Berman, father of Maggie Guzinski, Sidney A. Clemson, father of Elizabeth Jacobs, Leah Hetfed Glasgow, mother of Sophie Kingston, Albert Markovitz, husband of Marlis Markovitz, David Offenbach, father-in-law of Ellen Offenbach, Meyer Rosenthal, uncle of Ellen Offenbach, Herman Trupp, stepfather of Diane Posner and step-grandfather of Hal Lawrence Posner, Joseph Reingold, father of Rick Reingold, Shirley Kriegler, stepmother of Susie Reingold, Howard Silver, father of Ken Silver, Sarah Spiegel, mother of Paul Spiegel, Beatrice Tan, mother of Sherry Tan, Sharna Hames, Tuba Reza Lerner, Brian Balcony, Sophia Foreman, Nathan Miller, Joseph Malone, Arthur Blumenthal, Eve Gilbert, David Hirschhorn, Sarah Regina Spieler, Sadie Goldberg, Dorothy Spieler, Adeline Handelman, Rochelle Meshbesher, and Leo Oxorn. Kaddish is on page 598, and it will be on the screen. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaye chon v'yomei chon u'v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam l'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shmei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ose shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Please be seated. Announcements. Your turn. It's all yours.
Thank you, everyone. It was a beautiful service, and I know everybody really enjoys the Ask the Rabbi portion. It was always very interesting. Our thanks to the tech team, whether you're watching at home or you're here, another outstanding job. Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by Stephen Tabin and Steve Blasevsky to celebrate their mutual birthdays. Shabbat morning services tomorrow at 10 a.m. in person, 11:30 to 1:30, lunch and Torah study in person and Zoom. Sunday the 14th, Bagels and Discovery at 10:30. Classes as usual this week. Wednesday the 17th, choir rehearsal, 7 to 8:30. Friday the 19th, light your Shabbat candles at 5:42. Shabbat services at 7:30. Yes. Oh, okay. Any of our members who are coming to Torah study and lunch tomorrow, Rochelle said you do not bring your lunch. There will be bagels and lox. Okay.
This is a big bagels and lox weekend here at Beth Israel. We are bagels and loxed out. We're going to conclude the service with the singing of Adon Olam. This is a really remarkable version of it. It's Cantor Nathaniel Hershtik from the Hampton Synagogue. And this is something. Adon That boy can sing too. Shabbat Shalom. Turn your cell phones back on, Rochelle.